Hi, I'm Sarah and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about wellness for the body, specifically weight loss and the role of saturated fats like cholesterol. What if I told you that losing weight is not so much dependent on how much fat you take in, but more on how much carbs you take in? Well, let's take a look at it. Today I'm going to quote from Guyton and Hall's textbook of medical physiology. That's right, medical physiology. We're going to look at how fats and glucose actually work in the human body. Have fun. Rabbit hole, let's go. So let's look at hydrolysis or fat melting. From Guyton's textbook of physiology, it states at least two classes of stimuli play important roles in promoting this hydrolysis. First, when the amount of glucose available to the fat cell is inadequate, one of the glucose breakdown products, alpha-glycerol phosphate, is also available in insufficient quantities. Because this substance is required to maintain the glycerol portion of triglycerides, the result is hydrolysis of triglycerides. Interesting. So in other words, when you don't have enough glucose in your blood from not consuming too much carbohydrates, your body will turn to melting fat to produce energy it needs. About 40% of the calories in a typical American diet are derived from fats, which is almost equal to the calories derived from carbohydrates. Therefore, the use of fats by the body for energy is as important as the use of carbohydrates. In addition, many of the carbohydrates ingested with each meal are converted into triglycerides, then stored and used later in the form of fatty acids released from triglycerides for energy. During triglyceride synthesis, only about 15% of the original energy in the glucose is lost in the form of heat. The remaining 85% is transferred to the stored triglycerides. Fat synthesis from carbohydrates is especially important for two reasons. The ability of different cells of the body to store carbohydrates in the form of glycogen is generally slight. A maximum of only a few hundred grams of glycogen can be stored in the liver, the skeletal muscles, and all other tissues in the body put together. In contrast, many kilograms of fat can be stored. Therefore, fat synthesis provides a means by which the energy of excess ingested carbohydrates and proteins can be stored for later use. Indeed, the average person has almost 150 times as much energy stored in the form of fat as stored in the form of carbohydrates. Now, a keto diet, which is predominantly a high-fat diet with medium protein and very low carbs, weight loss occurs due to ketosis. Ketosis occurs especially in starvation, diabetes mellitus, and sometimes even when a person's diet is composed almost entirely of fat. There we go. So you see, you can control your carbohydrates more than your fat intake when you want to lose weight. You will be far more successful controlling the carbs. Can your cholesterol be too low? According to the Mayo Clinic, if your LDL cholesterol is too low, you're at risk of cancer, hemorrhagic stroke, depression, anxiety, preterm birth, and low birth weights. What does cholesterol actually do in the body? How important is it? Now, we know cholesterol is critically important for building membranes of every cell in the body and to create bile salts. But also, a small quantity of cholesterol is used by the adrenal glands to form adrenocortical hormones, 2, the ovaries to form progesterone and estrogen, and 3, the testes to form testosterone. So cholesterol cannot be eliminated from the body. So you see, from a medical perspective, you can't get rid of saturated fats altogether. Cholesterol is extremely important in the body. And if you're trying to lose weight, now you also see it isn't cutting fat that's going to get you the results, but managing your carbohydrates. There, now you know.